Into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face with the Infallible Mattify Base Primer. So it says here that it's a base that locks in shine and enhances the foundation. Makeup result is never greasy, all day comfort. I have oily, you know, combination skin, so I get quite oily during the day. I get very oily under my eyes and my T-zone, so I'm going to apply some on there. I've actually used this once before and I wasn't too sure how I felt about it, so I'll use it today. I'm going to use the Sleek Cream Contour Kit in dark. They have three, so they have light, medium and dark, and I'm going to use dark. I might mix 5 and 6 together, and I'm going to just use that to cover up my dark areas. Okay, so now that I have concealed my dark areas, I am now going to go in with foundation. So today I'm going to use the black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundations, and I'm going to mix these two shades together. This is Chocolat and this one is Carob. Chocolat is a little bit light for me and Carob is a little bit too warm for me, so when I mix the colors together, I'm hoping that I will get like a good shade. So I'm just going to apply it with my fingers first. So just a tip, guys, always good to apply your, sometimes I forget to do this, but it's always good to apply foundation to your face first, whether with your fingers or if you use like a foundation brush, because if you apply it directly with your beauty blender, the beauty blender will soak up all the product, so try to do this first. Hopefully this will be okay. Very yellow skin tone undertone sorry, so I found a lot of foundations for women of color, they're too orange, too warm, too red tone for me, so I do struggle a little bit with finding foundations for my shade because I am so yellow, like you can just see like I'm just so yellow like underneath. But anyway, going to buff the foundation into my skin. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just blend that out. So to highlight, I'm going to be using these NYX HD concealers. So these concealers are actually amazing. I actually just bought them recently and I love the formula, the consistency, the way they blend. But you won't believe that these are the two darkest shades they have. Like, look. Seriously, NYX, like, come on, there are women of color out here. Would love to have more shades of this, like darker shades. Anyway, I'm gonna mix the colors together, and you know the drill. Just highlight under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my chin, and my forehead. So to set my concealer, I'm going to be using this LA Colors, so LA Girl LA Colors Mineral Press Powder, and this is in the shade Soft Honey. Okay, so for my brows, I'm going to be using the Rimmel London Professional Eyebrow Pencil in black brown. I have an eyebrow tutorial on this if you want to see how I achieve my brows. to clean up under my brows, I'm going to be using the NYX concealers, both colours mixed together. I'm just going to set my brows with this Brow and Wax pencil by Primark. So it's just literally £1. So it's got a pencil here, which I don't use because it's way too thick. But I really like the wax side of it because it keeps my hairs in place. Even though I don't have like a lot of hair, eyebrow hair, my eyebrows, my hair's actually quite long, so it kind of it falls down and then it's just a bit annoying. So I like using this just to keep the brows, my hair's kind of like in place. Again with the NYX concealer in Nutmeg, I'm just going to use that to prime my eyes and just give it a base. And then I'm just going to set that concealer in place with the mineral powder that I used before to set the concealer. I'm just going to use that to set the concealer on my eyes. Time for eyeshadow. So the two palettes I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Pro 1 Iconic palette, which you guys know I love this palette. This palette is £6 from Superdrug, but it's absolutely amazing. I'm going to also be using this W7 palette in the Buff palette. Now this palette was the first, I think the first makeup palette I actually bought when I first started getting into like makeup seriously. Yeah, like this palette here is basically the first one I bought. So I just saw it earlier and I was like, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do something with this palette today. So first of all, I'm going to be going into this shade here, which is a brown shade. I will name all the list all the shades and everything I use in the description bar. So I'm just going to use that as my transitional shade. So to highlight my brow bone, I'm going to be using this shimmery shade right here. Okay, and I'm just going to go back and just blend that in so there's no harsh lines. So now I'm going to go into the W7 palette and I'm going to be using sand. So I'm going to be using this right on my lid. Then I'm going to go into this dark kind of shimmery brown colour called Wave. Use that on the outer corner of my eyes. I'm going to take a more detailed brush and go into the darker shade right here, just to darken it just a little bit more. So for liner, I'm going to be using the Super Liner by L'Oreal. I'm just going to create a wing. I'm going to be using these Model Lash Wispy Lashes here, and I'm going to stack two of them just to give a more fuller look. Using the Scandal Eyes Reloaded Mascara by Rimmel. I'm just going to blend them in together. Now I'm going to go into my waterline with this with this kohl eyeliner pencil in the shade Ivory. and this is from Primark. So it's not exactly, it's not completely white, it's more like an off-white cream color, which is actually better sometimes because it's actually more kind of natural, whereas that white, I like white anyway, but I think sometimes white can look a bit too much. So if you feel like white eyeliner is a bit too much for you, you can use ivory or a cream colored eyeliner, and that will make it a little bit more natural and, you know, open up the eyes. Don't really have anything I need to really dust off, but what I'll do is just, you know, just make it just blend in. I'll just go underneath my eyes and just, you know, blend everything in just a little bit more. And then I'm just going to set the rest of my face with the black Opal Deluxe Finishing Powder in dark. So to contour, I'm still going to be using my Inglot Freedom palette. This isn't Drugstore, but the powders are actually very affordable. Like, Inglot is a very affordable brand. Their eyeshadows run for about £5. These powders are actually £9, so they are actually very affordable. I'm just going to use a darker shade here. The lighter shade for my nose. Let's go back into the buff palette and just use that dark shade, Thunder, and I'm just going to use that just to, you know, just give a little bit of smokiness and definition to the eyes. To go back into the Revolution palette, and I'm going to use the shade that I used to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to use that to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Okay, and then I'm just going to extend the eyeliner into the inner corners of my eyes. I give myself a feline kind of cut eye like I usually do, and I'm just using this random eyeliner that I got from Revolution. It's got a very like pointy tail, so I just like to use that to extend. So that's done, and then I'm just going to finish off with some mascara again, just on my bottom lashes. So I'm just going into this Collection pressed powder. It's in the shade has come off, but I think it was Candlelight Touch or something like that, and I'm just going to use that just underneath my eyes, just to let my highlights set a little bit more. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to be using this Sleek Blush by 3 palette. So it's got two blushes, and then it's got like a shimmery blush in the middle. So I'm going to be using this shade, Demerara. Okay, so that is it for the face. So I'm just going to set my face with the Revolution Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to go quite bold today, quite vampy, and I'm going to use this Revolution Salvation Velvet Liqueur, and this is in the shade Velvet Black Heart. So it's quite a vampy, you know, purple shade. So, you know, the eyes are not too bold, they're quite neutral. So yeah, I think this will be perfect. So let's go. So for highlights, I'm going to be using this Elegant Glam palette. So it's got 2 blushes, a bronzer and a highlight. I don't use the blushes because they're a bit too bright for me, and I don't use the bronzer, but I really like the highlight. The highlight is very, very good. I've actually changed my mind and decided to use the Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer in Rock On World. It's like a gold one. Decided to use that instead, so I'm going to just use that on top. And I think we are done. I hope you enjoyed this Drugstore Vampy makeup look, and it gave you some ideas on makeup you can buy if you're trying to get into makeup or just looking for some affordable makeup products. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'm dropping everything on the floor as usual. Please be sure to like, to share and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next one, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.